So the create database statement is used to create a new SQL database. So we use the syntax create database, then they state the database name, semicolon. Please always be faithful to this. Faithful. Put semicolon. Okay? Going to be very useful to you. Hmm? So look at this. I want to put something here again. Talk to you. So create database, and then I will state the name of the database is SQL expert, okay? Or let me say data experts. Okay, that's the class. Semicolon. The way you see all these ones now, it will be filtered. So when I click on it, I run this guy. A database is created already. So I'm not seeing it here. So what I do, I try to refresh here. Okay, I try to refresh this button. So I click on refresh. Automatically, we see data experts. But there is one thing. Please and please, I'm begging you first to leave this system for now. You'll be interrupted. You can get distracted because you can do this in action. If you click here now, you see this arrow, you click here to pull down. You're just going to see four objects. The four objects here, which we will go through at the end of this class, are tables, views, stored procedures, and function. Now, you can see, if I should come to this marine, you can see table. But under this table, you will see an arrow again, prompting you to click again on it and see the tables under it, okay? We've not created anything like procedures or anything here of use. So for now, we are not doing that. So back to here, it then means that we need to create a table. Okay. So inside the database, inside the file, the candidate is a database. We now want to create folders or inside. Okay, we're creating a table inside the database. Okay, table inside this under this one object called tables. So the whole table should be in that particular table. Okay. So you can say table inside table group. Say table inside table looks like a nested table, which is not that. So I'll go back and SQL is available. Now you can also drop it. You can also delete a database. Okay, you can delete it. So let me just come here. I can say right click. I can do this. Oh, my mouse right click has stopped working. Right click and say um drop schema. Okay, like I told you, database is also called schema in MySQL. Drop schema. So when I do it, it will ask me, I say drop now. Okay, it's dropped now. The database is no longer there. But I can still run this code again to create it again. Okay, I refresh it now, I'll see data is fast. Or I can still use this drop, then they state the name of the database, drop data, data, drop database, then in the name of the database. So drop database, and then the name of the database is data experts. Okay, semicolon. Always put semicolon. If you have data error in MySQL, first check if maybe the previous code you wrote, if there is no semicolon before you start acting, because it may be coming from the early beginners in SQL. They forget the semicolon. So I run this guy, I drop it to, okay, no longer here. But you notice something. The first one where I did right, I click in and then I try to, I try to drop the schema. It asks me a question if I actually want to drop it or not. It brought out a dialog box, okay, like here now. When I right click here and I say drop schema, ask me a question. But when you're using this code itself, it will not even ask you that question. It's taking that you wrote it intentionally, so it no need to ask you. So careful too, just in case. All right, I've taught you how to create a database. I've taught you how to drop it. So let me just create this database finally and let it be. Okay, let it be that, and we have four objects here. Now, after creating a database, the next thing to do is what? Is to um, create a table inside it. Okay? That's the first thing you do when you're going to store records. Because even the procedures, even the procedures, the views, and the functions, they can't function without a table. Okay, you cannot work on something without a file, a data without a data. Okay, so we have to create a table. So this is a syntax how to create a table. To create a new table, say create table. We state the name of that table. Okay, we state the name of the table. So let's say create table, let's say patient table or something like that. Then the next thing we do, we specify the name of the field as you see, like in like customer ID, first name, last name. Okay, so we state the name of the column and the type of data is going to contain. So if that particular field or column, like I say, call it field. Okay, I'm going to be using field. If that particular field is to store only numeric values. So you're going to like say it should store only integers or something like that. If it's going to store variable text, if it's going to store text, if it's going to store text, okay, it should actually be variable character. To so it does it actually is variable character. So the field, maybe the number of columns. So you can put as many as possible you want, okay? And then you make sure you close it. All of them are being enclosed in a round bracket, and then you use a semicolon. Normal thing, Abi. Next idea. Are you with me? Are you saying it right? When I finish, so that I don't interrupt me. So now I'm going to create a table, maybe of patient details. Okay, be with me. Create, then the table name. You see, you say create table, then the table name. So I say create table. This will prompt MySQL to create a table. And then what the name of the table I'm going to create? You're going to say how to create a table on patient details. Okay. Okay, so I'll then open a round bracket, not a square bracket, a round one, not a curly braces, a round one. Okay, and then I'll come here. I can start writing from here, but I just like to make it look more presentable in the eyes and legible. So that's why most times they like pushing it inside. So it will be like I'm under this guy. You understand? So I'll say something like, let me say patient ID. Okay, and then the ID should be something like an integer. Okay, the type of data is contain an integer, and then I say comma. You understand? So it's going to be the column name and the database, like what we have here. Okay, and then we come again. So let me say first name, and I say the first name should have variable character. When it is variable character can be a number, a special character, a text, or anything. Then when maybe have a password. Hope you're not sleeping. You have password. Hope you're not sleeping. Okay. When you have password, all those ones. So I'll use varchar. That's what it means, variable character. I will expose it more to other data types, but I'm just going to introduce this one now. So inside it now, very important. I'm going to predict or try to, based on maybe if I have information already. If I say the first name should not be more than 20 letters typed in, okay? Whenever I write a first name that is 21 or 22, it's going to truncate it, it's going to cut it off and stop at that 20. Okay, I'm telling you that somebody who is in the field. You understand? So if maybe you want to take a password of 9, and that 9, somebody typing 10, it's going to become, and if that person will come in, don't that password is wrong. Say why? So based on people's name, let's just read the names that are very long, like Mississippi, Gadogu, let's say 15 or 20 or 37, okay? So that we'll be on the safer side. So I can put something like inside this bracket, I'll say 30, okay? Meaning that it should contain maximum of 30 characters. Are you there? Of the first name. Of the first name, okay? Then I'll go again and say last name, and last name varchar again, okay? Varchar again. I can still go ahead and say 30 characters, okay? This actually is like the space you're going to keep in memory for it. Now, finally, I'm just say age, okay? Let me say age, and age, I say integer. Integer, it doesn't need to specify the number of integer. Okay, okay? So when I'm done with that, I'll have to close this guy and say semicolon. Okay, so I'm missing, I use semicolon here, so it's supposed to be comma. Guys, don't see it. Are you there? Please. Integer now. So create table, the table details, patient ID as the first field is going to contain integer values. First name is going to contain variable characters of 30 character lengths. Okay, same with that of last name, and then age again, integer. So when I'm done with this, I'll see, look at this. I'm trying to create a table. I need to actually specify the particular database I want that table to be created into. Okay, so I need to make data expert the default database. Remember, I say you can use three methods. You can use something like use data experts, okay, or you can use something like you can right click here and say set as default schema, or you can also double click. Okay, so let me just do this one. Now to comment on something, if I don't want to remove this guy, I can just use, like I say, hyphen, double hyphen, and there should be a space here. Even if you run everything, MySQL won't run this one. Just keep this guy. It's called a comment. So I'm going to click here and then click on this particular button to execute the statement under the keyboard cursor. Then I'll run it. Now our new table is created, it's marking good for us. Let's see. I need to refresh this guy, so it's going to view here, load here. Now refresh it, and you can see that this guy now has a an arrow. Okay, so when I click on this arrow, I'll then see that my patient detail table. For me to view it, what I'll just do, the normal thing we do, we say select all records, okay, from the patient. Make sure you type the correct name, patient details table. When it comes in like that, you just enter it, patient details table, and then semicolon. I click on it, I run this guy, and I see that my table has these fields. I click on it. Okay, Queen, in there. Now you can see our table actually is empty. Okay, so it is now time for us to start doing our insert stuff that we learned about. Abi, Messi. Okay, so first of all, I hope you are seeing this thing. So why are you not in front? Stop depending too much on record. Class 101. Okay. Come here. Okay, come from far place. Come and sit in front here. They normally come from far place. Please, stop going to the back. Right. Don't worry. No, we're not using it. As good as possible to be in the front, so you capture it well. So we can see that everything is empty now. So what we need to do is to start inserting records. I hope we're on the same page now. So we go and say insert into. So now we have two ways of using the insert statement. We can use the insert statement to insert, we can insert in a specific field, okay, or column, or we can insert in the whole columns or field. Are you there? So if I want to insert in a specific one, that means I need to state the particular column I want to insert into. Or if I want to insert in all of them, I don't need to. I just go ahead and set the values according to how they are here. So I'll just set the values according to how they are. I'm trying to do a general kind of inserting. So insert into patient details table. Patient details table. Patient details table. And then if I should be careful about the spelling, because it's kind of long, I may make mistake just in case an error arises from there. So insert there, and I'll now come and say values. The values I want to insert. I open a bracket, and then I say this first one cannot contain a character. It takes in an integer, isn't it? How do I know more about that? If I should come here, let's say I want to get more info. So I click here, I click on this particular guy. You will see that it will show up here. Okay, you can see the patient ID is taking integer. The first name is taking variable character 30, as I said then. Okay, so from here, I can even know the particular data type that each table can contain. Okay, so if I come here and say patient ID, since it is a number, I don't need to quote it. Remember, I say 1, comma, then in the first name, so let's say first name is Peanut. Let's say Peanut, and the second name, last name is Useful. Okay. And then the age, okay, the age also is not being quoted. It's also what? An integer. Meaning that any variable character should be quoted. So if I put something like, let's say 24, okay, I close it and also make sure I put my semicolon. So I'm trying to tell MySQL to insert into patient details table with these values: one as the patient ID, minute as the first name, useful as the last name, and age as the 24 as the age. Okay, so I'll run this guy and it will be inserted. Okay, now to check it again, I can just click on this guy again and say select all records from patient details. Yep. I run it and I'll see that I now have this record here. Do you understand that? Page right here. Yes. So now, if I want to insert to specific field, like I said, what I will do now is I will just come here and say insert. Okay, before that, I also like you to know that you can insert more than one. Like, let's say I want to insert more. Okay, so I'm going to just make some changes. That I think I've told you guys about it, but since we are creating a new table and database, we can still go through that again. So I'll say this is two. Okay, and maybe I say this is Messi, and I say this is Ifeanyi. Okay, maybe I can just change this guy to 18. So I'll come here again, and instead of, if I want to start more than one record, because the first one I did only one record, so I'm just going to say comma, okay, and then I enter to start the next one. I don't need to do it one by one like this. So the next thing I'll do, I still open my bracket again, and then maybe two. Sorry, this amount three, okay, and then I say this one is useful, useful, and after useful, let's say we have no, I don't call, I've got, have I got faithful here? I've not got faithful. Ah, where I want to put my name is in my idea as well. So faithful, okay. So useful, faithful, comma, and let me say this 23. You see, so I can still go again, comma, okay, comma, to make I put my name, no be only one day here class. Abi. So if I come here again, I say 4, okay, Osita, and then comma, I put Uso Igwe, comma, I put 26, then I, you see, I can add these 4 records, okay? 1, 2, 3. So when I click on this guy, I run it, and the 4 of them I started okay. Trying to view them, I will view them and I'll see that all of them are okay. Congratulations, we've been able to create our database, create our table, and make insertion inside the columns. Are we okay? You got it enough? Okay. This one, two, three. Is that the patient ID? Yeah, patient ID. I just put it in the hospital now. They some like when I developed a program for Mesri, they may not make the patient ID just numeric. Okay, they may use variable character. Like I can say, Mesri hospital can be UH, okay, 201. You understand? Just an ID. Okay, it can be a number, it can be a character. But I'm just using number here. Okay, using number. It's based on how. If it's based on whether it's better. So you do this one, you get that number one, number two, number three. No, if you sort it now, order, order it by maybe the patient ID. Everybody will now order the patient ID can still stand as serial number. Exactly. Serial number is mostly unique. Okay. I don't know why they use it. How we moving on, we can now insert a specific column, like we said, within this scenario. So we can say, I know they like your face sometimes. Like, okay, when I leave my classroom.
So sir, that value must be added, right? Insert into patient details value.
These are constant, just let me tell you. Unless you want to now speak your own English, you don't do what to say. Yeah, constant. So let's look at this. So I want to insert into patient details. And then I want to insert only patient's name, patient ID, first name and last name, not insert the date. So I have to like open a bracket here and then say, hey, I want to insert it. You give me a few minutes, I'll be with you. You don't have this. Give me a few minutes, I'll be with you. I want to insert into patient's ID, comma, first name. It must not be, it's not case sensitive, okay? Not case sensitive, so it can be capital or small letter, if you understand. So I'm omitting that of age. So when I come here, the values I'll put are maybe 5, comma, then I'll say um, Daniel and James. Okay, let me see. Then you see, I will run this guy and it will be inserted. But now I have what they call a null pad, you understand? Because the age side of it was not inserted. Yeah, null pad. Great. So I've been able to create a table. Now, moving on, I'll show you the first preliminary way of creating table. I can actually create table from another table. Okay, so let's say for instance you're working in let's say you're to work in Instagram company and Instagram has a lot of millions of people in their database, or you just want to like okay people from different countries, okay? You just want to like get only people from Morocco. Yeah, Morocco. You understand? You want to get a table of only people from Morocco so that you can just get their own records, not like all the whole world. Okay. This is essential. You can actually achieve it from using creating a table using another table. So a copy of an existing table can be created, okay, using create table. The new table gets the same column definition. So when I say the new table gets the same column definition, I mean that if this particular table has patient ID as integer large and I want to create another table from this table. That other table you want to create also have the same data type as integer. You understand? So it's going to have the same column definition. Okay. When we did the column name, we made a definition of the data type. Have you? So if you create a new table using an existing table, the new table will fill with the existing values from the old table. You understand? So the syntax is create table, new table as, okay? As, normally called an alias. As select column 1, column 2, the columns you want to select from existing table, okay, from that particular table, where a particular condition is met if you want to actually use the condition. Okay, this is the syntax. I'll just take it out, keep it here, comment on it. So we paste it here. So I'm going to say this is this. So it's like SQL will see it as a comment. So what I'm going to do now is I have a circular name. So let me check circular table. I'll just I want to view record in circular. Select all records from circular.customer. Okay. Circular.customer. So semicolon. I'll run it and then I'll get everything here. Now I want to get create a table that will have only the customer ID, first name and last name, okay, inside the data expert database. Are you with me? You're with me? Okay, this is circular database already.
So I want
I
to
want to copy a table from this. No, We create our own, we're using our own. I want to create copy a table from Sakila. Okay, copy part of the customer table in Sakila database. Okay, we copy it and we now want to like put it in a database, database. Okay, what copy it there. Sometimes it can be from we can also copy from within data expert table, same place, but we made the um data experts the default database. So anytime I create something, it's going to be stored in the data expert database. Okay. Good idea. Okay. So the next thing I will do is I will try to create a table. I'll say create table. So this particular table will get this, and this. So create table. The table I'm going to create now, let me call it customer table. This particular customer table is going to be inside data expert table. So create table, customer. Okay. Then I say as. So this table will now copy things from by select the column one. I want to select the customer ID underscore ID semicolon first name. Okay, this guy have to write it the way it is. First name semicolon last name. Okay, and okay, so these are the three columns or three fields I want to copy. And then I will say, if you copy it, you select it from where? From, so I will say sakila.customer. Okay. Sakila.customer. So because this is another database from another database. So Sakila database, go to database of Sakila and get a customer table. So create table customer as select customer ID, first name, last name from Sakila.customer table. Okay. Now I will just take this for now. Okay, so I'll just say semicolon. So this guy is optional. So I will run it. So customer already exists. Table customer already exists. So let me check. Did I create another customer? Okay, I've already created. Did I create it somewhere else? Okay, like I ran it 2 times. Okay, let me see what is inside. Let me see what is actually inside. So I'll know. Don't know if I ran it 2 times. That's why I say customer. Okay, it ran the first one almost the same time. Okay. I ran it 2 times. So we see. Okay, and then so I click on it 2 times. You can see. So you see that I've created a customer table inside it. So create table customer as select customer ID, first name, last name from Shakila. So you see that that's created a new table. Okay, a new table in data expert table database. See them here. Did you get it? Listen. Listen. Listen.
This method will don't have customer ID.
I selected the ones I want. Don't be too good about this. I be selecting what I want from Shakila database. I just selected three. These are the ones I selected. You should select. Even if I didn't put customer IDs, don't select the one I say you should select. Faithful. Okay. Is it or later you refresh? Okay, so let's go again and look at something much more. Okay, guys, I beg. So what I want to do next now is to now utilize the real clause. Like I said, let me say, for instance, I just want people from Morocco, those are the people I want their director or something like that. I'll just show you how you can still do that with the real clause. So let's say, for instance, I'm opening this one again, put it, and I want to view my circular table again and see what I have there. So what I want to do now is this. I want to get only people who has address ID that is from 50 down. Okay, like 50 or like okay. 50 and above. So when I say 50 and above, what am I going to write?
Equal to the equal to the code.
Yeah.
Equal to
Yeah.
equal to equal to
000 77 greater than or equals. Okay, greater than comes before the equals. Okay, so I'm going to say I want people. So I'll say where. So I would like to put that address ID here so that I can also see it when it comes up. Address underscore ID and say where address ID underscore ID is greater than or equal to 50. Okay, so this time on 51. So I'm going to create a new table. So since I'm going to create a new table, creating this again like this is going to be duplicating it. I mean, you understand? Customer, I do not create because we do have a table here called customer. So you have to be careful about that. Now change the name of the table, maybe customer two. You understand? So I will run this guy and it creates so customer two. I don't know why this is depressing to us. I don't know what is happening to my mouse. So see customer two. Okay. So if I want to view it, we just say select all the calls from customer two. Okay. Then I'll run it and then I'll see that it starts from 50 down. I see it. So created a table from another table. A table also can be dropped. Okay. So if I say drop the table, so it drop table. Okay. Drop table, table name. So I say drop table. Then the name of the table is customer two. To make column. So I should if I write drops. So if I try to view it, it's no longer there. Okay. Like no, it doesn't exist. So if I want to bring it back again, it means I need to just click here. See, entered and then I try to view it. And then it's there now. Okay. So this is how we roll. I'm gonna stop here. I stop here. So